How's it going, everyone? Today I'm going to be removing my HVAC controls in my 08 Grand Prix. Now, the removal process applies for all 04 to 08 Grand Prix, regardless of if you have the manual or automatic controls. The process is still the same. So it's a quick job, probably about 5 minutes at most, and only requires a Phillips head screwdriver. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to remove this trim piece right here. This is a dash trim piece. It's one piece. It's real easy to get off. Basically what you do is you put your hand down here in the lower corners where I like to start, and you just pull out, just like that, okay? Now, take your thumb, put it over your keyhole right here just like this, and then pull out again. And that will also release the ignition key cover, and you can go ahead and set that aside. And then the rest of it, just kind of go along the outer edges and pull it out until it's completely detached. Now, since we're going for the HVAC controls and not the radio, we can actually just set this aside. What I like to do is I just set it up just like that. The radio will actually hold it in place just fine. So now the next thing that we need to do is we need to get the car out of park. So this is where you're going to want to set your parking brake. That is so important. Get your parking brake set, because your car may roll forward, backward, and the worst thing you can do is hit something or someone. So set your parking brake before you do this. That's real important. Alright, parking brake is set. Go ahead and put your key, turn it to ignition, and then get it all the way back. If you've got tap shift, it's manual. If not, then you've got all the way back to 1, basically as far back as it'll go. And so you will not be able to get your key out of the ignition, just so you're aware. It's still going to show key in ignition some, because it won't go back all the way, so it's fine. Just leave it like it is. So now what we're going to do is, in order to get to the HVAC controls, we need to remove this bottom compartment, and then that'll allow us access to this. The way that they designed it is they overlapped each one of these. You can see where it overlaps the other one. So I can't get the HVAC controls out without first getting this out. I can't get the radio out without first getting these two out, because they overlap them. Alright, so there's 2 screws in the bottom compartment. We're actually going to go ahead and remove 4 screws in total. We're going to get the 2 that are on the bottom compartment here on each side, and then we're going to get the 2 that are holding the HVAC controls out. But we are going to leave the top 2 that hold the radio in. There's no reason to take those out. Okay, so all 4 screws are out, and at this point the whole thing just kind of fell down. So now we can get to, without actually removing this, but it'd be a good time to clean this actually if you get the opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and show you getting the whole thing out. That's pretty much it. So this is the compartment, and now would be a good time to clean it. So we'll set that aside, and now we've got access to the HVAC controls, which are right here. Not much to them at all. There's 2 wire harnesses in the back here. They both come off really easy. You just, for the left harness, you just grab this tab and you pull back on it. That's how easy it comes out. This one here is a little bit more difficult. I like to take a flat blade screwdriver, which is optional. You could use your fingernail, but I'm actually just gonna lift up on this tab. I'll have to do this with 2 hands, because I'll have to be pulling on the harness at the same time. Just kind of lift up with either your finger or a flat head screwdriver, lift up on it, and then pull the harness out. Alright, so the HVAC controls are out. Here they are right here. And whatever work you need to do on them, whether it be repair them, repair it, replace it, whatever you need to do, now you have that opportunity. I've already had mine out several times. I have a couple of videos on that. I've replaced all the bulbs in this with LED bulbs, very bright. So I'll leave a link in the description for that video. It's really simple. So, alright, let's go ahead and get on with the reinstall. So in the reverse order, the very first thing we need to do is we need to plug in the wiring harnesses back into the HVAC unit. You cannot mix and match these. Only one will go into one. So this blue one here on the left goes in on the left here, and the green one here goes on the right. Just reconnect the wiring harnesses. Alright, so with the wiring harnesses in place, I like to slide the HVAC control in and then insert the 2 screws in order to lock the HVAC controls back in place. Alright, so the 2 screws are back in, and I apologize about the lens flare that's up here. The sun is really bright right now. So the 2 screws are back in. Now we can reinsert the compartment. Basically just line these 2 tabs that are right here, line them up with these 2 holes, and it should fall right into place, just like that, okay? Now get your other 2 screws and put those back in. Okay, now that we have both screws back in, the compartment is locked into place, we can go ahead and get the trim piece back in, but the first thing we have to do before we do that is we need to put the car back into park, and then we remove the ignition key, and that will allow us to be able to get the trim piece back on. Just lift up, bring it back around like this, and you basically just line it up just as it was before. Just take it, line it up, push it back into place. It just snaps back in all the way around. You don't have to push too hard, and that's it. So now the trim piece is back on, and the last thing we need to do is we need to get this ignition cover back on, and there's no way to mess this up. There's no way to actually put it in the wrong way. It'll only go in one way. So just find where the ignition off is and just push it back in, just like that. So that's it. So we have successfully removed and replaced our HVAC controls. It took all of about 5 minutes to complete the job. And if you have any questions, be sure to let me know. Always make sure you use your parking brake when you're going to be releasing from park. And again, any questions, let me know. Take care.